Ruski's Crypto Cave here, and today's video, since there's not really a whole lot of going on in GPU mining, haven't really changed much, I figured it'd be interesting to take a look back at comparison on how my portfolio has evolved and changed over the years. I really only have 2 years of video recorded data to kind of go over. I did this once in 23 in November. November of 24 was the last time I did it, and now we're in July of 25. So I'm got some nice price action going on currently in the market. So I was kind of curious what things look like and how things changed, what moved up, what moved down, all that type of stuff. Bitcoin was always one of my largest holdings in my portfolio, followed by ETH, and then the Casper had a nice little pump back in 23, 24, so that kind of grew up the ranks as well. But let's flip over to here. So this is 2023. This has basically the way my portfolio was broken down as far as percentage goes. See, just about 50% was in Bitcoin, and then 22% in Ethereum, 8% in Caspa, Flux, so on and so forth, all the way down the list. Dynex was actually pretty much in the top 10. Lithium was in 11th. Pre-search, all that good stuff. So, looked quite a bit different now. So, and then let's take a step over to 2024. You see, Bitcoin is up to 60%. ETH is down to 14%. Caspa down to 6%. Flux, Lithium is all the way up to the 5th spot. XMR, Monero, Solana. This is on here now, which was not on in 2024, or 2023, I should say. Ergo, Neoxa, falling. It's dropping a boat anchor. And then Ethereum Classic, Dogecoin creeping up the list. And you will see reasons for this too as well on the comparison page. And then Cardano, that's a new addition. That was not on there in 2023, because I just recently started not really mining Cardano, but basically using unminable and swapping it into Cardano. Octaspace, Zillow, Raven, GeoNet. New addition to the list because I started mining the GeoNet devices in 2024, somewhere around August, I believe it was. So, and then let's top over to July of 25. So this is currently Bitcoin is up to 66, almost 67%. ETH is at 14.95 compared to 14.71 compared to 22.54. And there's good reasons for that, because which we'll go over in the comparison page. And then Caspa, XMR, Doge all the way up to the top 5. Flux still up there, but not as far, just because we all know what happened to price action of Flux. Solana, oddly enough, is still a pretty close percentage as it was, but I have substantially more Solana now than I did in 2024. But Ergo, Lithium dropping back down, GeoNet climbing, Ethereum Classic falling, so on and so forth. So that is how it looks as of right now. And then let's pop over here. This will be the comparison tab. So this, let's get to, see this guy. Yeah, this is the one I want. So this will do a side-by-side comparison of all the different years. As you can see, Bitcoin is, and I did look up the price in CoinStats app. Basically, I just did the price history for basically all the price history they had available, and it seemed like it was pretty much November 13th here was the weekly, and then November 11th, and then this is today. So, so November 13th of 23, November 11th of 24, and then July 23rd of 2025. Basically closing prices, and then this was the current price as I was going through the app. So just kind of give you a rough idea. It's not an exact science, so just kind of get a visual and comparison of how things have evolved. So, but Bitcoin was always number one. Went from 49 to 60 to 66, almost 67. Been mining Bitcoin pretty much, I'm going to guess since 2019, I think is when I picked up 2 used S9s. And I was mining them for a while. And then sold them 2020, 21, somewhere around there, for more than I paid for them. Excuse me. on Facebook Marketplace. So definitely got my monies out of those. And I actually had Brains OS on them. The things worked great. They were fantastic. And then I also had a lot of rigs that were mining to NiceHash, mining Ethereum, auto converting into Bitcoin, and then getting paid out that way. And then second on the list, we got Ethereum. That stayed consistent across the board, but it dropped fairly substantially as far as the portion of the portfolio. A couple reasons for that. Price is one thing, and it has not increased as dramatically and as rapidly as Bitcoin has. And the other thing is I've been spending it. I probably, from what Ethereum I held here compared to what ETH I hold now, it's probably half. I probably have half of the Ethereum that I had here. Because I've been spending it on the AL zeros, the RX zeros, and other different hardware. I was kind of just using Ethereum to spend to purchase stuff. And instead of just pulling money out of the bank, putting in a credit card or anything like that, I was just spending ETH. But I have not spent any ETH in a while. Pretty much what I have now is what I'm gonna ride with. Hopefully the 10K will be nice, but we'll see. See what happens. Caspa, third spot all the way across the board for 23, 24, and then so far through 25. Percentage has dropped, but as you can see, so has the price. 14 to 15 to 10, and this 10 was only just recently too. So it was sub 10 cents for a while. So Flux, you can see as well, percentage dropped substantially, but also right along with the price. So it went from 6.86% at 41 cents a coin to 5.89 at 56 cents to 2.15 at 26 cents. XMR, Monero, been pretty stable as far as position wise. So 3.26% at 164, down to 1.5 basically at 156, and then up to 2.65 at 319. For the most part, I haven't really been mining Monero in a very long time. It's pretty much what I mined is what I had. I did start mining it in 2018 when you can still mine it on GPUs. I had my RX 580s on it, so that the Monero I've had for a while. So, and then in 2023 we got Ergo 1.37. It was $1.26. Now it dropped down to 0.95 in 24 at 1.28. So price is pretty close. And currently 0.9 and 1.13. So the AXA, this is the one that's dropping a boat anchor. Just under 1% of the portfolio value. It's 0.002047. You add another zero here, and then 0007. Now it's all the way down to 0001. Yeah. No bueno. Ethereum Classic 0.95 at basically just under $20. 0.62 at $25. 0.47 at $22. I haven't really minded. I've had the same amount of Ethereum Classic, so as the value of everything grows, and I still mine some of this other stuff like Bitcoin. I'm still mining. Caspa, I'm still technically solo mining. Doge, I'm mining. No longer mining Flux. I'm staking Solana, so I will be earning some more Solana. So I feel like Ethereum Classic will just continue to drop. Cadena, the next one. I haven't mined that in a while either. I do have. I had the KD Box Pro and I had the IB Link BMK3, which is still on the shed waiting to get cleaned up. I'll get it cleaned up eventually. It's not worth anything, so I'm not sure really what I'll get out of it. So, but 0.7 at 61 cents, dropped to 0.4 at 63 cents, and then dropped to 0.02 at, or no, this is probably supposed to be 0.2, I think. 0.24, that's what this is supposed to be. Sorry about that. That was a little typo there. So yeah, it's 0.24 is what that is, 50 cents. Then Dynex, yikes. It's probably 23 is probably the last time I mined Dynex. It was at $1.15. Yeah, it's not even in the top 17. And the reason I have 17 is just with coin stats and percentages and stuff. That's why it gives me 17. 17 and then other. So it's basically like 3 columns of 6. And what the percentage of the portfolio each one is. So that's why I did that this way. And then let's see, lithium. This was kind of, I think 2023 is when I first started mining lithium. I think I was solo mining it for a while. And then that was all on GPUs. And then we had a nice little pump from 41 cents to over $1, and it continued to like to 3 something at one point. Almost 4, I believe, was close to the peak. And then we're back down to 35 cents. So, but almost hit 3%, 0.65, 0.51. So percentage of portfolio, it's pretty close to where it was in 2023. Pre-search, 0.5%. It was at 3 cents. It's like 0.3 of a cent now. Yeah. So that one sucks balls too. Radiant, 0.001699. Yeah, I think that added another 0 as well. So decimal point moved in the wrong direction. And then we have Zilliqa. Zilliqa went to proof of stake. You can no longer mine it. I did unstake the ones I had in the old platform, Zilliqa 2.0. I haven't restaked it yet, so it's just sitting there doing nothing right now. So I may restake it and see if I can earn some more Zilliqa with that. And then Dogecoin in 2023, the only Doge miner I had was the Mini Doge Pro, which I turned off at some point because it wasn't making any money. So I just kind of sat on what I earned. And then from 2023 to 2024, the only reason it moved up is price appreciation. Hasn't really mined any. I didn't start mining till this mid-December-ish. Mid to third week of December is when I got the L9 up and running. So I don't even know if I received a payout in December. I'd have to go back and look, but majority of that is just from going from 8 cents to 36 cents. That's where the biggest change is there. And then to current, it's all the way up to my top 5. 2.4% at just under 25 cents a coin. And then Raptorium, not even on the list. Octaspace creeped up a little bit in 2024, mainly because of price. And then now it's back down to like 50 cents or so that fell off. In 2024, some of the new additions were Solana, because that's when they started converting helium rewards and stuff into Solana and all that type of thing. And then I also purchased some from selling other stuff and whatever. And then staking it on Coinbase. Cardano also makes an appearance, because that's when I started. I'm currently mining with my CPU rigs. RandomX to a mineable. It's being converted into Cardano. That's actually worked out pretty well because of nice price action on Cardano. Octaspace is here. Zilliqa dropped down a little bit. Ravencoin is on here because I was also doing some GPU mining to unmineable and converting it to Raven just to fill up the Raven bag a little bit more. And then this 2024's GeoNet makes an appearance because that's when the GeoNet device was first added as well. And then the 2025. See if there's any new additions. Oh, Litecoin is moving up because it's with the L9. Kind of makes sense that was mining Litecoin and Dogecoin, so the bags of Litecoin are growing. And then Helium is on here as well, because I am holding a little bit of Helium, and pretty much with the Helium Wi-Fi devices, you earn Helium now instead of mobile tokens, so that is being pretty much either converted to USDC, Solana, and I'm holding a little bit of Helium each week. It was pretty much like 5 Helium each week I was holding, and then I dropped that down to 2, so it's not much, but whatever, it's something. And if we get a nice pump, then hey, convert it to USDC or Solana and do whatever, either stake it or put it in USDC for dry powder to buy whatever I want to buy. And seeing the Ox is falling down here. And also Zealous made an appearance because I am still mining Zealous. I do have my one CMP card rig is still on Zealous, and my other CMP card rig is on Ergo. So this is pretty much the only thing I am mining currently. I actually did turn off my 1660 Ti's from QAI, or QAI, or however the hell that's pronounced. That is now turned off. I'm going to clean those cards up, sell them. I do have to replace the fan on one of them, and because it fell off. So it basically blew apart, so I just got to get that replaced and fixed and the rest of them cleaned up, and I'll get them listed and get what I can get out of them. They're nice cards. They're nice EVGA 1660 Ti's. They're nice cards. They're super reliable cards. I've never had any issues with them, but yeah, I finally turned them off because it wasn't worth it, and then my electric rate keeps going higher, which is bullshit, but it's everybody's dealing with it. So But yeah, that's kind of what the portfolio is looking like right now. Kind of happy overall. If you've seen the thumbnail, that's basically like a chart of my whole portfolio history, and bottom left, top right looks good. It is approaching a new all-time high value, and taking into consideration I have spent about half the Ethereum that I held, and about 0.27 Bitcoin was spent over the years purchasing. I spent 0.1 Bitcoin buying my octo miners. I spent another 0.105 Bitcoin, whatever ended up being, on the L9, and then just recently just took some profits and sold 0.07 Bitcoin, and just to help pops out a bit, and basically needed to borrow some money for a short period, and then I got that money back. I didn't buy it back into Bitcoin because the price went up 10 grand since when I sold it. So I may buy back if it drops to where I sold it at or lower, or use it to pay off bills, which I'm leaning towards just using it to pay off some bills and freeing that liquidity up, basically, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, that's what we're looking like. I have a feeling this is just going to continue to rise. This will probably creep up a little bit because the Ethereum's got some nice price action behind it, and it's got some momentum going with the ETF and stuff like that. So, and hopefully Caspa could pick up some steam as well. And Dogecoin will constantly keep going up as well. At some point, I am going to start either selling some of the Doge that I mined right away, and I'm not sure what I want to hold as far as Dogecoin going forward. And same thing with Litecoin, and just start taking profits from the L9 as it goes. So that I have to sit down and figure out, and just to see what I'm going to do. Just so I don't want to keep on just mining and holding Dogecoin forever. You gotta lock in some profits at some point. So, and it's got to figure out what my game plan is going forward with that. So, and then S21, that is still just mining and stacking Bitcoin. That's hosted with Metered Mining. Thanks again to Metered Mining and Red Panda Mining. They won that in Red Panda's 250K giveaway. So that is hosted with them. So if anybody needs any hosting services, you can check them out. We could also check out Terra Hosting, and that's where my L9 is hosted as well. Great experiences with both of them. So definitely not going to complain about either one. So, but other than that, that's about it for this video. I actually did have the new webcam hooked up. So far, it seems like it's working pretty good. I'll see in like after editing and stuff like that to see if the quality is a little bit better as far as the webcam. They are eMeet Smart Cams S800s. I bought two of them. One for an overhead cam, one for the face shot here. And so far I think they're working pretty good. So, but we'll see. See what it looks like after I edit it and stuff like that. So. But yeah, other than that, that's basically a look at what the portfolio is looking like, and there's a whole ton more shit coins after that too, so a lot, all kinds of crap, just to give you an idea. Let's do a verbal rundown of what's after that. So we'll stop at Zealous, yeah, for 25, Ravens on the list is the next one. Zilliqa, Octaspace is actually further down here as well. Neo, Beam, DIMO, Firo, Polkadot, Binance Coin, Toncoin, Basic Attention Token, Radiant, Tezos, Aleo, Pre-Search is all the way down there, Quai, Meowcoin, Dynex, Tron, Warthog, Chia, Raptorium, Ironfish, Chlor, Zephyr, Avalanche, Algo, Shiba Inu, Jellyfish Coin, Bugna, got some Peanut the Squirrel, some Darrow, some Nor AI, and that's about it. Oh, still holding some Aeon. Still have 1,000 Aeon. It is worth 53 cents. Yeah, I missed the boat where that chain was coming to an end, basically. So, yeah, tons of shit coins. So, and that's basically the top 17. So, yeah. You mine for 6-7 years, you kind of accumulate a lot of crap. I'm just kind of curious if I could even get into all those wallets. So. I should, because I pretty much have stuff written down in notebooks and stuff like that as far as seed phrases and all that kind of crap. So we'll see if I ever need to. I'll wait to get surprised when I need if I go to sell it, and then I can't get in it, and I'm like, oh shit. So now I'll have to deal with it then. But anyway, until next video, we'll catch you later. Have a good one.